start assembling some of it. I have the leather cups coming in soon, and when I get that in, I'll put it on the original pump and reinstall that. But for now, I'm just putting in this other one that has this rubber cup, which I do not like. And we're going to test this pump, the check valve in there, to make sure that it's not leaking. Get this little clip installed. That just holds the pump in place. There we go. Supposedly, if the check valve is not working, it would push back. There it is. Yep. Dadgummit, I didn't want to get into that. Okay, I did a little research on this check valve. And after you pull that pump out, this rod was left in there, and it just screws down into the middle of that check valve. Anyway, just unscrew that and set that aside. And I know you're not going to be able to see down in there, but I don't think you can. Maybe you can. Let me make it a little bit brighter. See that slot? And we'll try to get a screwdriver in that slot and twist it to pull that valve, check valve out of there. And we'll check to see if that ball is floating free. They make a tool for this, but I don't have it, obviously. And I need to be careful that I don't chew that up. And I think that's been the reason they recommend the tool, because it has a wider end on it than the screwdriver. It fits in that slot more snugly, and you're able to get a good grip and turn. Because if you keep going at it the way I'm going at it, if I don't get a good bite on that thing, I can mess that valve up, and I don't want to do that. Alright, let me see. There is a workaround. Let me go get it. Alright, I'm going to try to use this file. I saw another guy that did that. It's about the same width as the screwdriver, but you see how it's wider rather than coming to a point? That may fit the slot of that check valve better, more tightly than the screwdriver did. Oops, you know, I'll mess this handle up. Well, the handle comes off anyway. It does fit that slot very well. Let me get my adjustable wrench. You know what, I'm going to have to put this on the floor and hold it with my feet. Ooh, okay. That worked. So now I need to finish unscrewing that, and I probably can do it with this now. Yeah. I'm glad I did not tear it up, because I would have to order another one. There it is. Oh, yay. I may be I may have gotten lucky on that one. Thank you, Lord. There's a ball in there. Can you hear that shaking? Let me turn off that institutional light. You're moving back and forth freely, so that's great. Now I do need to see what else I need to do, or if I need to do anything. That's awesome. I was really afraid I was going to have to replace that. Yay, it does work. I don't know why I was getting some air back a while ago on that. See, once I put that back down in there, then this, when I installed this, this just goes right there. Actually, as it moves a little bit, it seems like it must have some debris or something in it, because every once in a while it does allow a little bit of air to be sucked back through it. So that must mean there's some, it may be some debris. I probably will do a little cleaning on it, put some oil down through it, clean it out really good. I won't still use it. I'm going to put a little bit of this penetrating lubricant on it and let it sit while I do some other stuff. So I need to, I guess I'll set it in that cap. And maybe if there's anything else in there that will allow it to break free. So we'll just do that. I'll set that off to the side. I have received the leather cups that go inside the pump. Now here's the original. And there's the original broken up leather cup. So I'm just going to throw that away. Now this stuff here, I'm going to just put back in this card for, I guess, future emergencies. Let's get one of these little leather cups. And hopefully get that on here without tearing that up. I believe that's threaded. Yeah, that wasn't tight. Wasn't too tight. I just couldn't get it with my fingers. It's a little gummy. Let me get some of that gooey stuff off of there. It's probably just oil. I'm gonna make sure I got that tight. Yep. Okie dokie. Alright, I need to put the check valve back in. So, yeah, that ball seems to be moving just fine in there, and I don't see any gunk in it, so I think it's gonna be okay. Okay, so to put this back in here, we're gonna do the reverse of what we did earlier. Oh man, I hear stuff rattling around in there, and that bothers me. I really wanted all debris out of it. try again to get this thing off. It was really hard. I couldn't get it loose last time. Woo-wee. That took some work. I had to take this outside and find something that had a big enough slot in it that I could put this in upside down and then turn the tank. And I also used my propane torch and I heated this collar up a little bit just to loosen. And anyway, like I said, I was able to turn this upside down. I put a rag around this and put it in that slot and just cranked as hard as I could. And I've gotten it loose. It's still not completely undone though. Whew. That was tough. See if I can finish getting this loosened up. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. Now I will definitely have to put some sealant on that before I reinstall it. So I'm going to take this. Oh snap. So this gives me the opportunity where I can actually clean this tank out really well, which is what I was wanting to do from the beginning, but I could never get this out of there. I had tried and tried, and even then I didn't think I was going to be able to get that undone. But hopefully there's not a lip around this, and I should be able to go outside and pour that out. I need to probably need to pour a little more gas down in it, shake it up really good, and then I'm going to go outside. I'll come back in just a minute. Okay, I've got that really clean. I was able to swish around some of the camp fuel in there and rinse it out through here, let it drain out, and then I got some, I had a can of throttle body cleaner. I couldn't find my brake fluid. I mean, not brake fluid, brake cleaner, but the throttle body cleaner is fine. It'll evaporate. And I turned it upside down and just sprayed all up in here and swished it around, and it's really clean now. I've looked down inside and I could just, there's one little speck that looks like it's stuck that I'm not worried about. All right, this is something I don't know anything about. I have not researched anything on it, but I'm going to take this off. You know, if I mess any of this up, I can just buy this part. I don't want to mess it up, but I might. I'll undo this and just take a look at stuff. That looks really clean. Okay, apparently there's that and a spring. That is dirty. You probably cannot see down in there, but it is dirty. There's some stuff in it, and that has corrosion on that. I'm going to get some sandpaper and just run along this because this is crusty. Now, I just want you to know, this is, everything I'm doing is trial and error. I am doing research to try to learn, so don't use this necessarily as a how-to video. It's more of entertainment and me trying to do something. We're going to find out whether I succeed or fail. Okay, this is very smooth now. Now I've got to figure out how to clean that out without pushing that debris down in that hole. Ah! I just put my mouth on that hole in blue, and I heard air here and here, and when I did that, that opened up. I did not even see that hole at all a while ago. So that's probably going to be the actual issue. In fact, it was so smooth. I thought it was a solid piece, and I kept wondering, how's the fuel going to get up? That's now not blocked. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go outside with the that throttle body cleaner, and I'm going to do my best to blow through here really hard and try to clean this out coming this way. Squirted some throttle body cleaner up in there and rinsed that out, and sort of got some to go down through here and also through that hole that way. We're going to put this back together and pray that it works. All right, so this is going to need some cleaning on those threads, and then put some of the thread sealer on it. This headlamp helps me so much. Hope I got all the parts on. I can't remember where this was in relation. Oh, where's my picture? This came out over here. So I've got to go a ways around. Oh my gosh, am I going to be able to do that? I've got to be sure it's tight. If I can get it all the way back around over there. Ugh. A little bit more. Okay. I'm satisfied with that. Now, let's put it back together. Okay. Well, I know that goes there. I need to refer to the pictures on my phone to see which way this sits, because the I just got to see where everything faces, because this has to be a certain way for that to go into it. Let me get my phone and look at a picture. With this facing me here, this needs to go on with this right about there. Main thing is when I end up putting this back on, that this will line up with this right here, so that that can come through. So I'll just have to be mindful of that as I twist this on here. I've got to get the sealant for that. This air tube needs to go through that hole right here, and then this will screw down through this hole into that. This handle show gets in the way. I'm going to try to poke this down through here first. There we go. Then I'm going to get that back in place. I've got to keep this thing centered in the hole. I need to loosen this nut right there. Which one fits it? Oh, there it is. I'm going to loosen that up because it's not allowing that to screw on down into the fount far enough. This nut basically just snugs up the cage once everything's in place. And I do know when this thing needs to be lined up with that, but I also know it was to the left of this. Pretty tight, but I want to check my picture. That was lined up with that. That was just to the left of it, just where it is now. I definitely want to make sure it's tight enough, but I also want to be sure it's in a good position. So I think it's pretty good right now. Now I'm going to snug up the cage and the collar. Keep that all, hold that in place, and I'll use this to tighten it down. And I keep bumping it, so before I finalize it, I will, you know what, actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff on there. That way I can run this cleaner arm out here, and I'll know that it's lined up properly. Now I've got to get this, I got to tighten that nut. That's in place. Now I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the cage right now because it keeps shifting around. I'm going to get this centered in that hole just so it looks nice and sitting where it's supposed to on the fount, which I think is good. Then I'm going to get this lined up so that this arm, the cleaner, isn't touching the metal. Then I'm going to reach in with, which one was it? Was it this one? Well, I'll just have to do it a little at a time. Maybe I can get it down close. And then, see, I've got the cage and the handle and everything's just kind of in my way to tighten. Now I'm going to add the generator. Put that in that hole there. Let that slide down and tighten that up. So I need to tighten this up and tighten that up. Now I need to add this. Don't forget your instructions right there. It tells you where to put that. Let me find me a flathead screwdriver. That feels like it's cross-threaded. There we go. So now I'm going to hold the instructions straight up, tighten the screw. Let me get the vent on. Now I don't have a globe. I'm aware of that, but I do want to make sure everything is working properly. Got to get gas in it, mantles on it, and we'll go from there. All right, I have added about a cup of fuel. Got the mantles tied on. First I'm going to burn in these mantles. They have to turn to an ash, and then once they turn to ash, you can't touch them or they'll fall apart, and then you can't use them. As long as they're in this state, they're fine. So let me get a lighter, and to do it, you just burn it. They will catch on fire, and they will turn to ash, and I guess I ought to turn this fan on up here. Probably ought to take this outside to do it, but it's cold out there right now, and I don't feel like going outside. I have to move the camera and all that. Okay. I'll let those embers go out, but in the meantime, I'm going to see about pressurizing this. All right, see how that turned to ash? Oh boy, it's just a little scary. Now if it works fine, then I'll order a globe and we'll be done. I've got this out in case I have an issue. This is just an aerosol fire putter outer. Yay! Yay! I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn this off. Yay! And I'm going to let that die down. I'm going to take this vent off and then put the globe from the other lantern on it and burn it. Now, I'm using a glove because I've got so much oils and stuff on my fingers. I just didn't want that on it. I'm gonna light a match. Hopefully stick that up in there. Maybe that'll work better. What? Whew! I knew that was going to happen. Or I figured it was going to happen. Look how pretty. It says once it burns bright, then open it on up. This one doesn't seem to be as bright as the other one. Maybe it just takes a little time. It's open all the way too. Oh, you know, it may need more pressure. Yeah, that's what it needed. Well, hallelujah. I finally got it working. Have you ever shot the head off of a match? You want me to do it? You ready? All right, y'all. We're going to call this one done. I appreciate you coming along and joining in, watching me struggle with this thing. But even though I had some heartache with it, I enjoyed, now that it's working, I've enjoyed the process. And I know a lot more about the lanterns. I might do some more. If y'all found any value in this video, I ask that you please put a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content and want to see more. And we'll see you later, y'all. Have a great day and stay wild.